Thus, even in the universe of thought, we find this unity, and at last, when we get to the self, we know that the self can only be one. Beyond motion, there is but one. Even in manifest motion, there is only a unity. These facts can no more be denied as modern science has demonstrated them. Modern physics also has demonstrated that the sum total of the energies is the same throughout. It has also been proved that the sum total of energy exists in two forms. It becomes potential, toned down and calmed, and next it comes out manifested as all these various forces. Again, it goes back to the quiet state, and again it manifests. Thus, it goes on evolving and evolving through eternity. The control of this prana, as before stated, is what is called pranayama. This pranayama has very little to do with breathing, except as exercise. The most obvious manifestation of this prana in the human body is the motion of lungs. If that stops, the body will stop. All the other manifestations of force in the body will immediately stop if this is stopped. There are persons who can train themselves in such a manner that the body will live on. Even when this motion has stopped, there are some persons who can bury themselves for months and yet live without breathing. But for all ordinary persons, this is the principal gross motion in the body. To reach the more subtle, we must take the help of the grosser and so slowly travel towards the most subtle until we gain our point. The most obvious of all motions is the body, is the motion of the lungs, the flywheel which is setting all the other forces in motion. Pranayama really means controlling this motion of the lungs, and this motion is associated with the breath. Not that breath is producing it. On the contrary, it is producing breath. This motion draws the air by pump action. The prana is moving the lungs, and that motion of the lungs draws in the air. So, pranayama is not breathing but controlling that muscular power which moves the lungs, and that muscular power which is going out through the nerves to the muscles, from them to the lungs, making them move in a certain manner in the prana, which we have to control in the practice of pranayama. When this prana has become controlled, then we shall immediately find that all the other actions of the prana in the body will slowly come under control. I myself have seen men who have control almost every muscle of the body, and why not? If I have control over certain muscles, why not over every muscle and nerve of the body? What impossibility is there? What impossibility is there? At present, the control is lost and the motion has become automatic. We cannot move the ears at will, but we know that animals can. We have not that power because we do not exercise it. This is what is called atavism. Again, we know that motion which has become latest can be brought back to manifestation by hard work and practice. Certain motions of the body which are most dormant can be brought back under perfect control. Reasoning in that way, we find there is no impossibility. But on the other hand, every probability that each part of the body can be brought under perfect control. This the yogi does through pranayama. Perhaps some of you have read in these books that in pranayama, when drawing in the breath, you must feel your whole body with prana. In the English translation, prana is given as breath, and you are inclined to ask how that is to be done. The fault is with the translator. Every part of the body can be filled with prana, this vital force, and part of the body can be filled with. And when you are able to do that, you can control the whole body. All the sickness and misery felt in the body will be perfectly controlled. And not only so, you will be able to control another's body. Everything is infectious in this world, good or bad. If your body be in a certain state of tension, it will have a tendency to produce the same tension in others. If you are strong and healthy, those that live near you will also have the tendency to become strong and healthy. But if you are sick and weak, those around you will have the tendency to become the same. This vibration will be, as it were, conveyed to another body. In the case of one man trying to heal another, the first idea is simply transferring his own health to the other. This is the primitive sort of healing. Consciously or unconsciously, health can be transmitted. The very strong man living with the weak man will make him a little stronger, whether he knows it or not. When consciously does done, it becomes quicker and better in its action. Next come those cases in which a man may not be very healthy himself, yet we know that he can bring health to another. The first man in such a case has a little more control over the prana and can rouse for the time being his prana as it were to a certain state of vibration and transmit it to another person.